we're going to take this bottle here and we're going to take off the label. And that's step 1. Remove the label. Step 2, you need to scan the label into your computer. And step 3, you need to edit the label. Now if you don't have a scanner, it's okay to take a photo too. After you've taken the photo or scanned it in, you need to take it into your favorite photo editing software. Take an area that you think no one will be looking at and only you'll know about. I've gone ahead and removed all the nutrition facts, and I'm going to replace them with my favorite physics notes. After I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and print this document. And when you are printing this, it's by default set to print vertically. What you want to do is change the page setup so that it prints horizontally, and that the label will come out in a correct form and fashion. And we're all set. Let's go ahead and print it and see what happens. Make sure when you print that you use a high quality glossy paper. Photo paper will be fine. If you use a regular paper, it will not look correct. Okay, and we're almost done here. Let's go ahead and make a comparison between the two. If we take our plastic label compared to the glossy label, you can see there's almost no difference at all, except for the notes that we've added. Now what you need to do is take your glue stick, or your glue, and go ahead and spread it around the insert of the bottle. Make sure you get enough on there that it's going to stick without any problems at all. Once you have enough glue on there, go ahead and take your new glossy label, press hard, and begin to wrap it around. Once this is done, you'll have your notes, but nobody will know except you. When it's complete, it should look just like this. And there's your notes. You're all set. Oh no, looks like it's test time again. We're going to need a new method. We're going to show you how to cheat on any test again. You're going to need a razor, a pen, some tape, and a little memo book for this one, or just any type of paper. Now take your pen and twist the ink tube out from the outer tube. It should come out pretty easy with a little twisting. Now carefully take your razor and cut a straight line through the tube. Try and make it about 1 inch long, or a little longer if you need to. You can always go back and change this later. As you see here, we have a little gap. That's important. You want to be able to fit paper in between the gap. Now take your outer tube, grab your memo pad, and compare the two tubes with the paper. We're going to cut about a 2-inch wide gap here. It's about 1 inch in length. Now take your tape, measure it up to the paper, cut it, and then add it on to the ink part of the tube. Just put the tape on at the base, wrap it around, and make sure it is snug and secure. If you have any excess tape, go ahead and trim that off. Good. Now slide the paper into the slit that you put in the tube. Take your constructed pen and add any notes you want to the paper. As you can see here, we're ready to conceal the paper. Spin the ink tube and the paper will slide right in. Now that your pen cheat is constructed fully, You can pull the paper out at any time and hide it behind your hand whenever you need to. And if a time comes where you need to get rid of it, quickly spin the pen back into place. And there you have it. You had to cheat on any test for the third time. This time we're going to be using an eraser. For this experiment, you're going to need a razor blade, an eraser, and some tape. Start by taking a pen and marking down the center of the side of the eraser. Once you have your marks, draw a little box around the back side of the eraser. Our aim here is to cut out a little box that we can place something into. So very carefully take your blade and cut through the side. This may take some time, so work at it carefully. Once you're done, go to the top and follow suit. Make sure you don't cut too deep. You want to keep this just a little piece that's going to be removed. Good. Now you're done with that, pull out the remaining eraser. You should end up with something that looks sort of like this. Basically, you just need a little crevice in the eraser, something that we can stick a note or two into. Now load up Microsoft Word, take some notes. As you see here, I did some physics equations. I'm going to reduce the font size down to 7. Looks good. Let's go ahead and print it out. Once you have your document printed, align it to the eraser and cut it out accordingly. When you're done, line it up, make sure it fits right. If it doesn't fit, go back and enlarge or reduce the font size even more, or change the way that you laid out the text. Now take some tape, flip it over, put it on the back of the paper, and place it into the crevice that we just cut out. Pretty simple, huh? Looks just like a normal eraser. Now it's test time. Go through each question, and if there's one you just don't know the answer to, take a little peek at your eraser. Now I've got it. B. If you do this right, your results should be stupendous. And that's all for Household Hacker today. It's test time again, and I still do not know the answers. Well, I've made it through 2 years of cheating. Might as well keep going. So let's say your friend messages you and he says, "Hey, I took Miss Folsom's chemistry test, and I also wrote down all the answers for you. Here they are." Well, you are in luck. Now, it doesn't have to be the answers. You might have something else, like just some notes or anything like that. But we need to have them while we're taking the test. So what we're going to do is take a Band-Aid, and it needs to be a big one. Unwrap it, and get it out of its packaging. Once you've got that, you're all set. Take those answers or notes and write them on the white area of the Band-Aid. Now take some ketchup or something red and rub it into the Band-Aid. You don't want this thing to look fake or new. You want it to look like you've got an old war wound on your arm. So I'm going to rub in this ketchup and get it to soak in. Here's my results. Looks nice and nasty. Now slap it on your arm in a good place. If you're an emo kid, you might want to put it on the other side, on your wrist. Now it's time to take that test. Peel up the Band-Aid a little bit, and there's your notes or answers. It's clear sailing from here. If someone asks you what happened, just lift up one end of it and show them that little ketchup stain, and they won't ask any further. Well, that's all there is for today, kids. Take care, and let us know your own cheating techniques in the comments.